So with this internet shit. Scrapple TV.
Hi, and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Kenzo News. I'm Heather Barton.
And I'm Ritchie Antipuna.
Acknowledge my song, bring my posse along to the party, could change the zone. My part of town, girl.
On Monday, the 21st of March at Kensington Ave, right above Westmoreland, there was an eyewitness account of an unidentified source of a man beating another man with a board. Then he stopped and ripped down a stop sign and continued to beat him with the stop sign. So if anyone out there knows the guy who had the stop sign, please contact us for an interview.
Yeah, it'd be great to have him on the show.
Yeah.
That's a good tool, stop sign. Never thought of that.
Well, I guess he wanted to do the stop. And,
yeah.
You know,
he
when
was
people
stopping
say,
the guy.
"Don't you hear me? Do I have to beat it into you?" He beat it the fuck into him.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good one. All right, well, there's parents of kids that go to Sheridan that are complaining that they had a fundraiser for cancer.
And Sheridan is what?
It's a school.
Oh.
Everybody knows what Sheridan is. Anyway,
Okay.
they asked them to collect money for Make-A-Wish Foundation. They only gave the kids 2 weeks, so some of the parents were a little upset. But I'm thinking maybe they only gave them 2 weeks because, you know, if you have that little thing sitting around for too long, kids might say, "Oh, I need some candy," or, you know, they want to take
I did it.
a couple quarters out. And I was going to say, you probably kept all the money.
I did.
And I think you probably still go around and collect money for different things, right? And
Paper routes.
paper routes. Yeah.
Collect them.
So that's why I guess they did that. So don't be upset, parents.
Okay. Well, a Philly.com report says there was a bill introduced last month to the members of the PA State Judiciary Committee that will require DNA testing for those charged with certain crimes upon their arrest. Due to the backlog of DNA results on criminal suspects, the delay allowed the accused Kensington strangler, Antonio Rodriguez, to continue killing and raping. Motherfucker. Rodriguez pleaded guilty to a drug charge on October 21st. After submitting his DNA, he was freed on probation. The state police lab received his DNA on October 25th, but because of a backlog, it wasn't entered into the database until January 10th. And that's what we talked about in several of the shows, like why it takes so long. So now I guess they're explaining why it took so long. They're making it seem like it's some other reason.
Right.
Like, oh, because we have a backlog. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And it's just data entry. People probably
That's
just
it, and motherfuckers just don't want
putting
to
the
do
information in there.
Yeah. So Deborah Harley, the chief of the Family Violence and Sexual Assault Unit of Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, said the state should seek federal money for improvements to maximize newer technology, including robotic extractors and new high-speed genetic analyzers that can process 96 samples in 2 hours. Also, outsourcing some DNA analysis to private companies. It can help. So
That's their solution.
yeah, well, it's
In
just
2 hours, it would have been better if they could have did it in 2 weeks.
right. They're just trying to make it look like, oh, this is why it wasn't our fault.
Push it off on
We know
someone
the
else.
we know the real deal. It happened in Kensington. Who gives a fuck, right?
Right.
That's what they say.
Well, another article in Philly.com, there was a report, everybody probably remembers the story a couple years ago. There was a little girl raped in Kensington.
Yes.
And a bunch of guys chased the guy.
Frankfurt and Clearfield. I mean, front
they
and Clearfield.
beat the shit out of him, like really bad.
And the cops stood there and watched and let them.
Well, it didn't say that in there,
It was
but
on the news, though. They had video of it.
you know, they accidentally got an innocent man because it
Well,
wasn't him.
Well, it doesn't matter. They lawyers probably contacted him about that anyway. They seen it on the news. You know, they knew he had a good case.
Yeah, but everybody knows that Kenzos believe in street justice, and if you know, do something like that, hurt a kid,
in Kensington.
you
Kenzo's
know,
handle their own
and
shit.
if you look like the guy that they're describing, you should walk around like a big blue wig and a nose and say,
or at least
have a
a
shirt
sign on the
that
back
says,
"I'm not him."
I'm not him. Yeah, like warn everybody.
Remember, like the shirt I used to wear that pointed to you back in the
Said-
day that said, "I'm with stupid."
No, I had I'm with asshole. Anyway, so he's suing the cops, you know, and the city for edging on the people to kind of go after him because he's saying that Nutter announced that people should go
Take
out
matters in their own
and
hands.
basically, you know, and we've heard that too in the
Before,
Strangler case,
absolutely.
so and other cases. So He probably has a case, you know, and I just believe that, you know, if anybody out there does hurt a woman or child in there, they better watch out, because you're probably going to get your ass kicked.
All right, also in the Philadelphia Weekly is a campaign story. A good friend of mine, Sherry Honkler, is running for sheriff under the slogan, keeping families in their homes.
Yeah.
Her campaign kicked off April 1st. She moved into the new office center at 718 Market Street. And she has a lot of good people behind her. She has Jim Moran behind her. He's a campaign manager. You know, a lot of other great people, you know, including myself.
Green Party.
The Green Party. And I believe she has a very, very good chance. And she is a Kenzo, you know. So all you Kenzos out there, if you're voting, and if you ain't, go out and vote. Vote for Sherry Honkler.
Yeah, and she absolutely is doing this from the kindness of her heart. Like, this is what she's done her whole life.
She's not a politician. She's not.
Kenzo. She's a regular person trying to help people. That's what she does.
That's it.
And yeah, go out and vote for her, because you really need her in our corner.
Sherry Honkler for sheriff.
Sherry for sheriff. In the Philadelphia neighborhood website, there's reports about the Performing Arts Center that used to be the Devon Theater.
Oh, yeah.
It was open for less than 2 years, and they closed for good in December. It's problems with the money. There's a multi-million-dollar restoration that they had to deal with. It was by the Mayfair Community Development. And they're currently trying to reopen as a theater again. And in addition, they want to have shows and plays. They would like to see the Devon host independent and classic movies, children's theater, school shows, which that would be good, because a lot of schools don't do that anymore. And they don't even have auditoriums and things like that in schools anymore. Like, you know, when we were kids, I don't know what they did with them. Maybe they need the space for classrooms or something. Well, hopefully they get that back together, because I think it's a good program for people, especially in that area. So we'll see what happens. Keep you posted.
Well, do you know where Kensington is? NEPhilly.com, that whole website's in an irate and pissed at the fact that the police and the Daily News run stories about crime happening in their area, and it's printed as Kensington, as I always said. But now the other side's complaining. You know, they don't want to be known as Kensington. And like we said, when anything happens somewhere bad, anything surrounding Kensington, they always say it's Kensington. So now we're getting the other side of the plate, where now the residents of them communities that the news and everybody's calling Kensington just to get people to view it, they're complaining because they don't want their neighborhood known as Kensington.
Right.
So that's a good thing, you know.
Sure.
So the story ran in the Daily News trying to find a suspect in connection with 3 bank robberies at 4625, 6420, and 6855 Frankfurt Avenue, which is clearly not Kensington.
Right.
So they say outside media don't care about the Northeast. We have all seen them misuse, misspell, and mistake our neighborhoods and our streets. So we at East Philly want to do something about it. Well, that's good for you, because we don't appreciate the fact that the news and all refers your neighborhood to Kensington.
Right. And I know where Kensington is.
And Kenzo's know where Kensington is.
We know where it is.
And that's why we bitch about the news media doing that. So
right. It's a place where crime is legal, basically, because they don't prosecute for certain things like they would other
anywhere
places.
Else, right? That's why.
Okay, people are hungry, depressed, and you know, that's Kensington. Just as much as people in the Northeast don't want it reported that the crime happened in Kensington, the people of Kensington don't want it reported that it happened there either, because there's enough crime to deal with there. So keep your crime there.
Leave us the fuck alone.
We'll deal with our own crime. Thank you.
We will start coming the fuck up there.
Yeah, causing ruckus.
Well, we want to read you some comments from the Kenzo Pride site on Facebook that I started.
Right, hail Ritchie, leader of all Kenzos.
At ease, soldier.
Steve Lee says, here's a thought not everyone's aware of from Lower Kensington originally, but most of my growing up, Dane Allegheny, the thought or fact, Edison High School, the old Edison, had more graduates die in Vietnam than any other high school in the country. Talk about the ultimate sacrifice.
Now that's Kenzo's. All Kenzo had more Kenzos from high school. Wow.
That's sad.
Here's another one by Steve Lee. He writes, here's one for you. Don't ever answer a payphone at K&A at about 4 in the morning after being out all night drinking, then eating a BLT at Kellis's. You might get invited to a party that wasn't. Have to buy your Buddy Logan a soup to go to this party. Show up, knock on the door, and the mom answers and puts a gun to your stomach.
Sorry to hear that,
That's
Steve.
a lovely Kenzo moment.
Yeah. Well, Jeanette Haney-Mahoney says, here's a little cheer we did from the Kensington Eagles.
Uh-oh.
I have to do the cheer.
Absolutely.
I don't even know the tune.
All right, I'll do it. Boom, 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 boom,
We're
boom,
from
boom,
Kensington.
boom, boom,
Couldn't
boom,
be
boom,
prouder.
boom,
If you
boom,
can't
boom,
hear
boom,
us,
boom, boom,
we'll
boom,
shout a
boom,
little
boom,
louder.
Well, don't forget to watch every Thursday night and rerun on Saturday. Thursday nights at 8 p.m., reruns on Saturday, 3 p.m. on Philly Cam, channel 66 on Comcast, 29 on Fios.
And we're also on www.theritchieantipunashow.blip.tv.
That's right. And don't forget to join www.facebook.com/Kenzo.pride. You have to go there and hit the like button and like it.
Yeah.
So
The second one, not the first one.
Yeah.
We're moving. We're moving to a new site.
Pay the fucking rent.
That's right. Typical.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Live, love, laugh.
Yo mama. We're from Kensington. Couldn't be prouder. If you can't hear us, we'll shout a little louder.